Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily Dvar. And here's a brand new halacha for you. It's for Thursday, second day of February. Here we go. You know, generally, the halacha that we've been mentioning a little bit over the last few days is that when you make a hamotzi at the beginning of a meal, that hamotzi is the bracha for most of the meal, except dessert is sometimes an exception. Special wine brought in the middle of the meal is sometimes an exception. But generally, otherwise, the hamotzi covers everything in the meal. Now, here's today's question. What if you made a hamotzi at the beginning of the meal and it's covering all the foods of the meal, but then by surprise, your neighbor knocks on your door and says, "You gotta taste this kugel." And they rush into the middle of your meal with an amazing kugel. Now, your hamotzi did cover for all the brachas of the middle of the meal, but that covered for all the brachas of the foods that generally were to be expected at that meal, like stuff that's in your house. But something that arrives by surprise from another home, well, that might be outside of the parameters of what your hamotzi was applying to. That is what some rabbis believe. And some rabbis do say, like Rabbi Yosef Karo, who wrote the Code of Jewish Law, he said that you should need a brand new bracha on what was just brought into your home, because that's totally by surprise and was not in the parameters of the hamotzi that you made at the beginning of the meal. But the Ramah, that's a commentary listed right underneath Rabbi Yosef Karo in the Code of Jewish Law in the Shulchan Aruch. He says, and most Ashkenazi Jews follow his opinion, he says that nope, people don't follow that custom nowadays, and people do consider the hamotzi to cover even surprise things brought into the home in the middle of the meal. And he says the reason that people are probably doing that and why it's become the Jewish custom is because generally, when you make a hamotzi at the beginning of the meal, you're thinking towards all things that will fall under that meal, even things that by surprise may be brought over. So your hamotzi was kind of a catch-all for even things like that. So bottom line is that you can probably rely on that, and if your neighbor brings you a surprise goodie in the middle of the meal, that the hamotzi can cover that too. So says the Ramah, and Ashkenazi Jews do follow that law. Thanks for logging on, and log on again tomorrow for more. Bye-bye.